This is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. Hello and good evening. This is the 30th day of the month of June 2018. Of course, as you know, June has been a month full of expectations, and as you know, they are coming to pass. If you planned something for June, the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth, the fifth, and all the days were going, and you thought June was still around the corner, no. Today, officially, June wraps up. Yes, it packs its loads and leaves the calendar 2018 permanently to never occur again in our history. Shall never see June 2018 again. June 30th, 2018 again is gone. Just the same way the journey has been for some countries in Russia. They say what happens in Russia stays in Russia, right? It's not only Vegas, yes, Russia too, but of course, a lot of things are happening in Russia that need to get to some parts of the world, like the events of today. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium this evening, this beautiful Saturday evening. It's a delight for some Nigerians. My friend, one of my friends, my colleague, my ex-boss will say bad belle, but I don't know. We think concern your person, Gary. Yeah, people are celebrating victory of one country over the other, which they have no business at all concerning, but that's how the sports is. It's a World Cup year, it's a World Cup month. A lot of funny stories around Russia 2018 is living up to its expectations, or are there surprises? Of course, we have a lot to talk about on the program today. This is a stadium. My name is Ted. Of course, the house will be full in a couple of minutes. And with you out there, we'll be talking about all the things. You know, I know people are itching to talk because people expected, people predicted, people prayed, people wished that the result that came out this afternoon should have been like this. Do you think if Nigeria went past that and would have faced France, would there have been a different result? I don't know. I'm not very sure. But of course, we'll talk about it at the course of the program. Yeah, officially, Argentina is out. Yes, they are out. The star man of football, Lionel Messi. If you say the referee went to the VAR and saw money flashing on the screen rather than the actual offense that was committed that Nigeria deserved the penalty, where today there was no need to call the VAR, the Italian referee was firm. He took all his decisions right as far as people who were watching, where I did watch, were concerned, and the result has come and gone. More matches coming. Competition between Ronaldo and Messi continues. Messi is out. Is Ronaldo going to live up to expectation to stay back in the game, or he will follow suit and go? Big names, surprises, big names out of the World Cup. Is this still interesting? Are you still interested in watching the remaining games, or now you think the underdogs have a chance to have a say or have a stake at Russia 2018? We have a lot of talking points. The game that just went past, the game that is coming up in less than an hour's time, in a couple of minutes' time, and a lot of problems that the Argentines had before the game came on. Of course, that's no excuse. And then, of course, the fact that we're going to see the oldest coach at the World Cup, he has been there, but we're going to see him this evening try to pull out everything he has taught these children who are actually his children. And there are a lot of stuff from the club news. Yes, clubs are bidding for players that are seen at the World Cup. We hope that the value of our own players too from Nigeria rises, because the last time we checked, they have been playing clubs that the value wasn't that much, but their display at the World Cup shows that they will earn some respect for themselves in their clubs when they go back. And those who are seeking transfer from their clubs should actually speedily do that so that they can actually meet up with their clubs and start the preseason. So that we will get to the Nations Cup, Cameroon 2019, we will establish ourselves as a good country that understands the game of soccer. My name is Ted. I welcome you once again to the program. So do stay with us on the stadium this evening. There's a lot to talk about. But stay with us. I'll be shortly back from a break that I'm taking. And from there, we'll roll on. Stay with us. This is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. Yes, you are still listening to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. We just played that song for Argentina. Don't cry for me or for you or for yourself or for anybody. Argentina, yeah. Well, what goes around comes around. Of course, Nigerians wept when Argentina defeated us in the last match of the group stages. But of course, today they are the whooping boys. Do you think we would have done better than Argentina if we faced France? Is it not better we went out that way than to have faced what they faced today? 4 goals. And then 2 goals from Argentina, 6-goal thriller. Nobody expected that to happen. Of course, everybody expected that it would be a win, probably for France. A lot of people expected it because if you look at the array of players that they have and the cohesion in their team, a young rising team headed there by Pogba and Kylian Mbappe, the 19-year-old, you know that, yes, they have a team in Didier Deschamps as a leader, a team meant for the future, against an Argentine team that is aging, that has most of their players probably playing their very last World Cup, the likes of Messi, Javier Mascherano, a lot Otamendi, most likely, maybe will never even make it to the next World Cup because they have an array of stars coming up in their youth ranks. So it was a surprise. But then, before the game, Coach Jorge Sampaoli had been criticized by the Argentine media and the media around the world for conceding his authority to Lionel Messi, who is the captain of the team, that he is not in charge of the team. Messi is in charge of the team. That happened because they saw him speaking with Messi shortly before Kun Aguero was introduced in the game against Nigeria, the last game in the group stages. And people saw Messi, cameras captured him discussing with teammates in the dugout, in the tunnel, before they got back onto the pitch in the second half. And people thought that Messi is the leader of the team now, and he is also probably the coach in hiding. But Sampaoli came out earlier before the match to say no. He was just informing Messi rather than consulting him. He was informing him of the decision to bring on Aguero. But if you think, okay, should the coach inform the captain? I don't know. The general informed Obi Mike before bringing on other players like Odion Igalo onto the pitch. The coach has to decide sometimes. Their loopholes were exposed today by France. We didn't take advantage of that. We're not looking back at that. But of course, that is a World Cup for you. You're going to see a lot more of that in the round of 16. Here is not based on point, on head-to-head or calculation or anything. You win, you stay, you lose, you go home. It has to go to extra time or penalties. Yes, that is what the World Cup has come to. That is the stage at which we are now. If you win, you stay. If you lose, you have a couple of days grace to stay in Russia to arrange your things. Maybe you allow the laundryman to dry your clothes. And then you pack and leave. So that's what happened there. And he denied that. But of course, today we saw a coach who had a potent striker in Kun Aguero on the bench, kept him for some personal reasons. Because of course, Kun Aguero led the revolution against him, asking the FA to either let them, the big players, the senior players, be involved in team selection or let the coach go. That was right there at the tournament. The FA did not respond to that. He had a fraction of that team. Of course, we heard that Higuain had a little spray in training. But of course, there is a big player there, and there's another big player, Aguero and Higuain on the bench against a tough French team. I guess he didn't make the right decisions, and sometimes you want to see some of the best teams at the World Cup, and sometimes the best teams have to go. Yeah, Germany do have a very good team. If they have escaped into the round of 16, maybe we would have seen a different team entirely. France played their best game today all through the tournament. They have this team that is good, that is hopeful, but they have not been playing very, very excellently. Today they had to dig deep into what they are known to do best, and they came out to get that result against big fighting Argentines. And of course, we say congratulations to France under Didier Deschamps, who are heading in next to the next round and are waiting their opponents already. They have gotten in there already. And of course, sorry to Argentina. Not really sorry, not from my heart, but from the heart of a sports lover. Sorry to them, they won't be there. I would have loved to see some of their stars. Angel Di Maria scored one of the most beautiful goals today, even though that was neutralized by Benjamin Pavard, who scored a wonderful volley that nobody expected it to go to the direction it was going. He knew exactly what he was doing, exactly where he wanted to place it, and he got right in there. In summary, it was a very, very beautiful game of football today, I must say. Argentina did not come to the party. You don't play Messi up front as a lone striker. So any coach who knows should know. I just hope nobody somewhere someday wakes up and says they're hiring the coach, former coach of Argentina, Jorge Sampaoli, to come and coach the Super Eagles, because I will carry a flag personally and go where a placard and go where I should go. This is the Stadium on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. I know some people are itching to talk. I'm seeing a lot of calls coming in. Feel free to phone in and be a part of that. Don't insult anybody. If you want to do a little bit of analysis of what you saw there and what you see the French team, do you think they are going forward if they meet the likes of England or Belgium or Russia or Spain or even Japan, Colombia? Yes, we still have big teams out there waiting. Will they be able to go past those levels? There are big teams there. Some are underdogs, but sometimes the underdogs become the achievers if they have the chance and they take their chances right. That is what Colombia did against Senegal. They came into that game not as favourites, but they had a chance to win and to top the group, and they did win the match, and they topped the group, allowing Poland and Japan to play one funny game there. There was no fair play, tapping onto themselves in different halves to make sure that Senegal was dropped since Colombia had scored a goal. Very funny thing anyway, very, very funny thing, but that's another part of it entirely. But today, a 6-goal thriller in this game. Did anybody see it coming? When Antoine Griezmann first played the free kick and hit the bar, I thought there was an indication of the fact that the French were ready to go up front, and they did. They pressed the Argentines back. Messi was a lone man up front. Griezmann again was able to convert from the spot. It was actually a penalty, yes. There was no need to consult the VAR. The referee did not waste any time on VAR today. So Griezmann converted. And of course, Argentina, as you know them, when they come back, they come back. When they came back and equalized and also went up 2-1 in the second half, they were resilient. They wanted to, but the French knew there was a problem. If you don't press hard and get an equalizer and push on, there will be a problem. But the star man there, Mbappe, decided, in connection with Pogba and Griezmann, to shatter the midfield and the defense of the Argentines. It's just a matter of minutes that Mascherano probably would have been giving his marching orders, and most of them, they lost their heads, and they were like screaming at the referee, who was very, very, very composed and matured. One of the best officiations I've ever seen, because there were situations where some referees would have flashed their cards. At some point, he had enough, and he had to caution some players so that they don't push him over, because a lot of times they rushed him to a level that it became a little bit scary. Yeah, there were flashes of Diego Maradona in the stands at the beginning. Yeah, he celebrated the equalizer, but to see him again, I think the cameras forgot, because they were more concerned with what was happening on the pitch. But the man of the match, Kylian Mbappe, 19 years old. Is it a sign that the old generation is fading and it's a new introduction into football? The younger guys are taking over. Of course, you know, Mbappe is one of the big stars there. If you put the whole of that French team together, the value is over, I don't know, let me not make a mistake and call it, because Pogba alone plus Mbappe alone is a budget of some countries. Yes, I boldly say that it is. Two big players, and of course, massively, Antoine Griezmann there adding. Hugo Lloris, captain of Tottenham and captain of the national team, he has been there for long. Continuity, that's one thing we spoke about on the program yesterday. He's been there. The old guard is there. The young guys have come in to add, and slowly the old guard is fading out for the young guys to step in. They have a very young goalkeeper on the bench there waiting. In case of anything, he's as good as Lloris, but experience is what matters here. And of course, they used that today to show Argentina that way. With a blend of youth and age, gives you experience and vigor, and that is what they used to get the Argentines out of the competition. So bye-bye, Argentina. Thank you for coming to Russia, but it's time to go. Just the same way you sent us home. You got to go home. It's time to go. And congratulations, France. Wait out for your opponents and see what happens to you next in the coming games. One player I want to look at here in this game is Mbappe. I don't know if the Argentine defense undermined his potentials, what he can do. They most times left him alone, but his teammates, Pogba and Griezmann, do believe in his pace. The connection between him and the midfield was amazing. The kind of passes they laid for him. He surged forward so many times that the Argentine defense was almost caught into committing errors that warrant a straight red card. The penalty he got was out of such a move, and so many times he did that until they started locking him up. That is when the rest of the team now open up. And that's a strategy that works these days in football. If you discover your strength, you use it until the opponent realizes what power you're using. But then it's already late. You are done and you're gone, and there's nothing else they can do. But then the goals are up there. So they took their chances, and they never looked back. And that's one thing I picked, one big thing I picked from that game. France picked, they used all the chances that they had. They never wasted any chance that came their way. But the goal of the match for me, apart from what Angel Di Maria scored from far, which Hugo Lloris did not see, the goal of the game for me, the goal of the match for me was Benjamin Pavard. That was a goal. That was a classic at his age. Seeing that distance, a pass that actually bypassed all that the pass was intended for. And then he saw it from a distance, a half volley from the side, and the keeper had no response. The defense, everybody just stood and watched as the ball went right into the top right corner of the keeper's net. That was amazing. And of course, that's the goal of the match for me. Have your say. Give me your thoughts on the match before we go into the game that is coming up next, and then we'll go into other news. Of course, there's transfer news out there. You know that when Rooney has completed his move to the MLS, yes, officially we said it here, but of course now it has been confirmed with him posting in the jersey of DC United. How many other players are moving to the MLS, to the Chinese Super League, or are any coming to the any African league, or to the MPFL? We do hope that some days we'll see some players come to the MPFL. 081-89-99-1011 is a number to call, and you are live onto the stadium, the 101.1 million capacity stadium, bigger than any stadium there in Russia. So you have your space, you have your seat, and then you have your say on what you saw and what you're expecting in the game that is coming up. That's another big game. That's another cracker for me as well, because it's a blend of youth and age in both sides of the teams. Let me pick this first call before I come back to the studio. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, this is the Stadium on Human Rights Radio. Welcome to the program. Hello. Oh, Argentina must be controlling the network. Please do try to call back and we'll have a chat. We'll talk. Don't insult anybody, please. Don't over-celebrate, because it doesn't mean your country will be restored to the World Cup. We are out. So is Argentina. That's the only thing I will tell you. 081-89-99-1011. Hello, good evening.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
You're crazy. I had to sing that for them.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is the one and only Bucci. I'm en route to the station right now. I'll be there very soon, but I felt I had to just call in immediately to just commiserate with Messi and company. You know, we were sad last week, and now I guess our anger and tears have been justified, because this is a shadow of the Argentinian team that did play 4 years ago against Germany in the final.
Yes.
They were uncoordinated, they were not together, and the better side won. I mean, and also kudos to Kylian Mbappe. I mean, 19 years old, youngest French person to score at the World Cup, and also bagging 2 goals a game. I think so far his goal count is 3 goals.
Yeah, 3.
So it's fantastic. It's a good thing for him.
Yes. All right, but you wait to see you, because there's a lot more to talk about in that game. A lot happened there. We'll X-ray it when you come in.
Most definitely. I'll be there.
Right, see you around.
All right.
Yes. 081-89-99-1011 is a number to call. Of course, you can have your say on the game between Argentina and France. Kylian Mbappe, 19 years old, same age with our Super Eagles goalkeeper, Francis Uzoho. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, welcome to the stadium. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Charlie. I'm calling from Jabi.
Okay, all the way from Jabi. How are you today?
Fine. I'm just celebrating the way where the Argentina don't do 1-1. Is that okay like that?
So you celebrate Argentina don't come out?
And I celebrate them. I just go buy drinks. Consider they enjoy the way we don't do 1-1.
Ew, you know me say Nigeria go enter back again.
Huh?
I say, you know me say Nigeria go back. All right, thank you. Somebody there celebrating with some kind of entertainment there, the exit of Argentina. I don't know how they say one man's food is another man's poison. Sometimes somebody's bad luck would just make somebody happy. I wonder how is that. But anyway, of course, Nigerians have the right to feel aggrieved, to feel happy that the people that eliminated them are out. The same way political parties do. When one party takes over and the next one comes in, the other one celebrates. Only difference is that the political parties, when your own is sent out of power, you can still go your way and organize some people in your village to stand on a platform and say you have defected from the former party to the other party because this is where you think the true democracy is. If that is the case, then of course some Argentines would have defected today to become French citizens, French nationals, so that they will continue in the tournament. But that's not possible in football. Once you are capped, you are capped. You have no choice. Unlike basketball, where you can actually switch and play for other countries if you have played for a while. And some other games too, that is allowed. But football, FIFA is strict about that. 081-89-99-1011 is the number to call. What are your thoughts about the Argentine game? Do you think they were fairly... Somebody complains to me, actually. Somebody did say that the referee didn't give some calls in favor of Argentina, that it was as if he came out to wait for them to leave the tournament. But I don't agree with that. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir, and Gucci.
Yes, this is the stadium. Welcome to the program. One only.
You are speaking with Valo.
Yeah, Valo. Yeah, I've heard you. It's been a while.
Yeah. So I want to criticize Nigeria for being happy that Argentina is out.
Okay.
But the sweetest thing in the mind of all Argentines is that they are the one that knocked Nigeria out of this tournament.
Yes.
It is true they are out, but the greatest achievement they achieved on this tournament is that they are the one that sent Nigeria home.
Okay.
So I want to tell Nigerians not to be happy because they cannot be happy for those who knock you out because till tomorrow they are greater than us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you think so? Okay.
Although it is not, it is a sad news that the mighty are falling on this competition.
Yes.
What I saw today, it wasn't something I'm expecting. I expected that it's supposed to be 1-0 against France.
Okay.
But it's a game of football, things turn around. Many goals came in which I didn't expect that it's supposed to be at this stage of knockout.
Yes, but was that a penalty?
Yes, that is a penalty.
Okay.
From first goal from France, it's a penalty.
Okay.
And I want also to encourage the young shall grow. You see what Mbappe is doing,
yes,
and what Pogba is doing?
Yes.
It's no longer a time that it's on the edge, if I may say. Mbappe has performed a great, which I want the young talent of Nigerian football should be looking into, and our NFF should be looking at the young talent in Nigeria,
yes,
brushing them up,
yes,
so that Nigeria will have such players.
Yes.
I do not see any Nigerian player like, when I want to talk about Mbappe, I want to talk about Griezmann, I want to talk like other people I can mention.
Yes.
But I hope that Nigeria tomorrow will bring players like that because we have it as our home-based players.
Okay.
I wish Portugal success this evening.
Okay.
I'm seeing them beat Uruguay.
Oh, you think they'll beat you? You think they'll beat Uruguay? Okay. All right. We'll wait to see what happens by 7 o'clock. Thank you very much for calling. Yes. Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. It is the stadium. We're just x-raying the match that has taken place and the matches that will come at Russia 2018. It's a talking point for the stadium this evening. Hello, good evening.
Sir, how are you?
I'm very fine. And you, sir?
I'm fine, sir. How was the evening?
Yeah, very fine. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is David.
Hello?
I said it is David calling from Maka Diplomat Area, National State.
Okay. Can you hear us right there, clear?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Oh, very good. Okay, so did you watch the match?
Yes, I watched the match. Honestly speaking, I watched you. I'm very, very happy to watch them. But honestly, and it's like Nigeria have more advantage than them. Totally, I did not expect to happen. But honestly, they deserve that because they deserve but they deserve that.
They deserve it. Serious.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So I'm very happy for that.
Okay, what about Portugal and Uruguay? It's coming up in the next 25 minutes.
But what I'm praying for the Portugal win because honestly, my boss is here. That's Ronaldo.
Oh, that's your boy.
That is my boss. That is my boss.
Oh, your boss. Okay. I heard your boy. Okay. All right.
So I'm very praying for that by the God grace, the Portugal win the
Okay. All right. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Yes, thank you for being a part of the stadium this evening. Of course, one caller says people should not over-celebrate the victory of France over Argentina because Argentina will never forget that they knocked out Nigeria. Yes, another caller and other callers who are celebrating that Argentina is out because the person that poured Sansani or Gary, somebody else has put stone inside his obono soup, so you have to celebrate. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is the stadium on Human Rights Radio.
Yes.
Please get away from your device. Turn down the volume of your radio, please.
Are you okay?
Yes, that's better now. Speak up, please. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm very much happy.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Zubis from Madela.
Zubi from Madela, okay.
Yes. I'm very much happy. Though I was not able to watch the match
Yes.
because I was somewhere.
Okay.
So when I came back, my friend was telling me that Argentina is out.
Mm.
I said, oh, congratulations. Where am I going to see this man, Diego Maradona?
He was there in the stadium. They showed him a couple of times, but not towards the end of the match.
Oh, he was there?
He was there. He was live there. He celebrated their first goal, the equalizer.
So how did you see his face?
Sir?
How did you see his face?
No, he was happy when they scored. The camera spun on him when they scored, when they equalized, and they didn't show him again towards the end of the match. So he was happy.
Well, congratulations.
I'm
I'm happy they are out.
Okay.
Because there are people that send Nigeria out. So we are very much happy.
But don't you feel some sympathy for Messi, the world greatest?
Messi?
Yes.
I beg to that level.
I thought he's the world greatest now. I called Messi and the call dropped. Of course, there's that controversy, Messi or Ronaldo, who is the world's greatest. Of course, this evening, the next few minutes, we'll see what Cristiano Ronaldo will lead his Portuguese team to do against a hard-fighting Uruguay with Edison Cavani, Luis Suarez, Diego Forlan. Don't forget, he might not be there, but don't forget that is the inspiration that they get. And then they have some other players that you might not know their names because they don't play in the most flying leagues across the world. But when it comes to Copa America to the World Cup stage, do not underrate Uruguay. You see what they will do against Portugal in the next few minutes. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this is a Stadium on Human Rights Radio. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, that's okay.
What is your name?
All right. My name is Chris.
Sir?
I'm playing from Alaba.
Okay, from Alaraba. Okay, make your contribution. Did you watch the match?
I watched the match. The match was interesting.
Okay.
Argentina never won Nigeria. It was the referee that defeated us. And the people doesn't want Nigeria to progress more than that. So, in fact, the match was won for Nigeria. He has been a patriotic referee.
Okay.
And then what I want to say is that Nigeria is more. It's a fact. It's now what? Because he's spending his money that has been going about with the players, with people, and look at the motivation. You can see the motivation they get to you can see where Musa we have to play against Arsenal.
Yes.
And it was a state of so we have to honor him with a national honor because he has been patriotic all the way.
All right. Your voice is breaking. I think you might need to change your position. I can hardly make what you are saying towards the last end now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better now. Just stay where you are now. It's better, please.
Okay. That one from 16 and 1.
Oh, my brother, this is getting very bad. Could you change your position one more time? I can't hear you. Maybe you have to call us back. Let's see whether it will get clearer. It's really breaking. Yes.
I'll call you back.
All right. 081-8999-1011 is a number to call. We're asking your thoughts about the game that went on. Of course, this is a World Cup, so every game is important. It's not just because we're focusing on Argentina and France. No, every game is important. We're going next to talk about Portugal and Uruguay and what you think might happen. And we'll talk about that when the game is over here on the Stadium of Human Rights Radio. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
The one and only D1.
Well done.
How's it been?
Thank you very much. I'm a bit excited this evening. Maybe the fact that our perennial foe, we are out of up. I'm not happy that we couldn't win them.
Yes.
But at the same time, I take solace in the fact that they are not around because of circumstances have surrounded their over us. So I feel a little bit relieved tonight. But I must say, despite the fact that we are celebrating, I think we need to take a lead from what France is doing presently.
Yes.
If you look at their players now, their squad, you will discover that some of these players will still come back to play in their next World Cup.
Yes.
Because they are very young.
Very young, exactly.
And very energetic.
Exactly.
And they also employ the coach that won the World Cup for them in 1998. He was their captain then. And presently is their coach. He knows what it means to play in the World Cup.
Yes.
The experience is there.
Yes.
The technical know-how is there. And what have you. So it's a good thing for us to borrow a lead from them and inject new blood into our squad. I'm an advocate of seeing younger players coming in. And I'm an advocate of not waiting for results to just come presently, but we need to plan ahead. Before we know what is happening, Qatar 2022 will come in.
Yes, it's already here. Yes.
These players now.
Sure.
Hello?
Yes, I agree with you,
Yeah,
Jiwa. Qatar is here.
If you don't inject these players now to start journey so that this player can go to Nations Cup and play for us come next year, I don't know when we are going to do. I think we need to let like 4 or 5 players to leave that squad now so that they can give chance for other new legs,
Yes.
fresh legs, young chance to come in and make up good squad for us. And one thing for them to do that will give accolade to NFF and other football stakeholders in Nigeria is for them to put the round peg in the round hole before it will be too late. If not, 2022 will be still singing the same song.
The same song,
but
exactly.
I know that
Yes.
this. So I don't think that one will happen to us again.
Sure, D1. I know you know that France has taken a lot of years to build this squad to come to this level, even when they were not doing very well. Even in Euro 2016, they didn't do very well. But, of course, you can see the result now.
We see what will happen when next we are playing World Cup in Qatar 2022. We see the type of squad that Germany will bring in.
Yes.
Germany right now, they are learning from their mistakes. Almost all their players agree to the fact that they are not good in this year's competition, and they will go back to the drawing board. I saw the tweet from Cruz and Ozil and others saying they accepted that they are not good in this tournament, but people should be looking up and see what they are going to do in the next 4 years. I think that is the way we're supposed to be raising this time around as well. And the only thing we can do that, Ted, is for us to make sure that we have people that know how to run our football to do at the end of our year. Very soon election will be in Katsina by September.
Yes.
If you make any mistake of electing another person that will not know how to manage our football, which is fair due for us when the World Cup comes, we need to get it right now. Because if we don't get it right, these set of people will still be there whenever we are playing the World Cup in 2022. So we need to make the right choice now and do the right thing so that we can get better results come Qatar 2022. And this is our Nations Cup in Cameroon
next year. That's the first step. I think D1 will watch out to see what the coach will do if they retain him, and I hope they do. What he will do, qualifying the remaining qualifying matches, and then what he will do in Cameroon 2019. That will show us what Qatar 2022 will look like.
If you ask me to let my voice with what is on ground, I will advise NFF to think in a draw. I know many people will not want to hear this from me, but I want him to stay because if you look at the way NFL is holding this player, you discover that it's somebody that is futuristic in nature. But our problem is that we need the immediate result, and it doesn't work out like this in other clients. We need to allow this man to continue to rebuild, and I thank God NFL is taking the bull by the horn. By saying he will continue with his position. From authoritative report, I can tell you that they want Venezuela to continue, and I pray they will allow him to continue because this man has vision for us. Forget about our elimination in the first round. We had a long way to go. We remember what happened to Westerhoff when he came in 1989, and we gave him like 4-5 years, and he won Nations Cup for us. And if you just allow this man to go ahead with the plan that we have at heart right now, he's going to go a better thing for the country. When you allow other people to call me.
Thank you very much, Diwa. In the other half, we'll talk about Uruguay and Portugal. So we'll get back to you within the time. All right, thank you. Yes, that's a super analyst and reporter and correspondent there, D1, of course, giving his voice to what we've said here on the stadium about the continuity. And of course, that's the point he made. Didier Deschamps couldn't have raised this team if he was shaking off that sick by the French FA. They allowed him to build a team, and that's what we're seeing. So far, it's looking good for the French. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, this is the stadium on Human Rights Radio. What is your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm Abdullahi I'm calling from Area 1, Abuja.
Abdullahi from Area 1. Did you watch the match today?
I didn't watch the match, but as I come back yesterday, I asked my friend how is the match. They told me they win Argentina, so I'm very happy of that.
but it doesn't help our football now. You're just happy that they have left. You're happy that they have left.
Yes, I'm happy, very, very happy. Why don't I within the 2 hours? For that day. So, Argentina don't go home with that. On the land with that.
They don't work out.
I don't work out. Bye-bye. We reach the same journey.
Portugal and Uruguay, what do you think? The game comes up for next week.
Portugal now. Portugal.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. Well done.
Thank you, Baba. Take care of yourself.
Yes. Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. Sports taking a twist, of course, Nigerians celebrating with the French. I thought we were an Anglophone country colonized by the British. But I didn't know that we have some kind of Francophone blood in us. Maybe only today that everything is changing. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This is the stadium on Human Rights Radio. Please turn down the volume of your radio.
Okay, I've done that.
All right, make your contribution. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Joshua calling from Nasarawa.
Joshua from Nasarawa.
Yes.
I can still hear your radio faintly. The feedback is coming and it's disturbing a little bit. Joshua, can you walk away from the radio, please?
Yes, I've done that.
Okay. All right, make your contribution.
Yes, about the match between France and Argentina, really, it was a highly contested match and I enjoyed the match.
Okay.
Yes, and before the match, really, I've already given it to France because they have a younger generation team. They play well, they're well blended. So, for me, to Argentina, really, winning, for them to have won Nigeria, it was just by luck, or referee give it their way. But I don't think they have a good team that they should have qualified above this stage.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what about the game that is coming up in the next 10 or 12 minutes thereabout?
Yeah, between Portugal and Uruguay, really, it would be
Uruguay, yes.
It is very high. I said it would be very highly contested, and I would give it to Uruguay.
Uruguay, Suarez and Ronaldo.
Yeah, Portugal, I know they are only relying on one person, so I can't give it to them now.
All right, Joshua, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes. This is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. Before I go on the break, let me let you know that Kylian Mbappe, the youngest teenager, the youngest and most expensive teenager in football, £166 million that he got transferred to PSG, has refused to collect his bonuses, which amounts to like £17,000 per game. He says he doesn't want to be paid to represent his country. So any bonus that's supposed to come to him, he's donating it straight to a charity that promotes. He's a patron of a charity which helps organize sports activities for children with disabilities. A 19-year-old taking of other ones who are younger than him, but they have disabilities. That is the kind of person Kylian Mbappe is. I'll give you more of that gist when we come back from this break. So do stay with us. It's time to remind our Muslim brothers and sisters that it's time to pray. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
redefining broadcasting.
You're still listening to Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. This is the stadium. My name is Ted. It is all set in Russia, Portugal, and Uruguay, all on the pitch. Yes, about to log it out against each other. Cristiano Ronaldo leading his team. Of course, on the other side, you have both Luis Suarez and Edison Cavani in the team that is very compact, with a coach that has been with them for so many years. But I'll tell you more about that when I complete the story of Mbappe, that somebody asked me to give him the details. I say, yes, Mbappe's £70,000 match bonuses are all going to charity. He says he doesn't want to be paid to play for his country. And I was wondering what inspired this young man, this teenager, to say this, because some people will protest and will even want to boycott matches because of allowances. But that only happens when some people decide to sit on those allowances. He has channeled the allowances and bonuses are supposed to be given him to a charity, and of course trust that that will be done. Nobody will sit on it, nobody will commandeer it, nobody will find a way to turn the money into private coffers like it is done in some places that we complain here on the stadium. So he has actually donated that money to Prayer the Cordays Association, a charity that helps children with disabilities to get into sports, and that is very, very big. And it is understood that Mbappe stands to gain a bonus of £265,000 if France wins the World Cup. All that will go into that charity, and this is very, very, very massive. I think some people should take a cue from this and, of course, learn that they can actually use their resources for good reasons, for some purposes that will help other people who are less privileged to have a life better than what they are living. Of course, what you earn as a professional player, sometimes you don't even finish it. People just want to go around and enjoy it. But here's a teenager who is thinking of other people. All right, so the teams are out. The game is almost underway. And of course, Portugal and Uruguay. It has been a long time coming. But something very important here is the 71-year-old coach of Uruguay. His name is Oscar Tabarez. He has been with Uruguay for 12 years now. We call it seasons, so years, 12 years. He has been head of the national team for those years. And of course, they have gone on to great heights and gone low and up and low and up. He has been there. They left him there to sort out things for himself, things that he found difficult to do, and they gave him the free hand to operate. And now we're seeing the result. He has lined up a team on that pitch that is massive, that stands a chance to actually go as far as they can go in this tournament. Can we buy a leaf from Uruguay? Can we leave our coaches to do something until we see that they are actually going off trail? Then we can actually get them back. Most of the players in the Uruguay team came through the youth ranks under his watch as a head coach that also oversaw the activities of the under 17, the Olympic team, the under 17 and the Olympic team. All through they got to this senior level. And so they understand him, and the team understands itself. They're compact. They may have some deficiencies here and there that Portugal might explore. But the point I'm making here is continuity. We lack that here in Nigeria. The number to call to join, of course, the phones are open for you to be a part of this conversation. Let me not just be talking, because you might feel that I'm in a way blocking you from talking about Argentina or the game that is on the way. Feel free. Feel very, very free. This radio station exists because of you. Without you out there, we have no business sitting here behind the mic and saying the things we say here on the microphone or behind the cameras. But let me tell you that players to watch, basically, Luis Suarez, everybody knows him, the official vampire of football. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, welcome to the stadium.
Yes, welcome. Well done. My name is Samira Yerima from Idu.
Okay, all the way from Idu. How is Idu this evening?
Well, Idu is still on count.
Okay, so are you watching this match?
Yes, what I want to add is that Argentina.
Okay,
Nigerians should be careful, because that Argentina has beat us so many times, especially at the deadline that we are hoping good things. they will just throw us out. So please, they should try next time and pass Argentina.
Okay. They did. They defeated them 4-2. The game don't finish now. Argentina don't walk out go house.
I happy now.
Yes.
I happy but the happiness now halfway. If not be seen a Nigerian win them.
Okay.
You know, so this time when we go to World Cup, I bet name Nigerians. When they carry all these small boys, they get to find boys for rural area. Carry them, go there. Those ones, they take the hungry them.
Okay.
They go passport.
Okay, so when they carry the small one go.
When they carry the small one, this one they don't chop money. They will choose the best one out of them.
Okay.
You see all the people who do and make them go. Like all these small one will be say young to ride. When we ride them, go or put them for there. So that passes Argentina. Allah that Argentina, they make Nigerian cry. Maybe today.
Okay.
Even during the Omokachi time, now like so them do it. And up to now, no, I beg.
So what about the Ronaldo and the Suarez? They don't start the match safe now. Who go win? Portugal and Uruguay.
Wallahi, that my Fulani brother Ronaldo. Make it the captain come.
All right. Thank you very much. Say Cristiano Ronaldo, Fulani brother. I like that. 081-8999-1011 is the number to call. You're live onto the stadium. I'm laughing because of the excitement from Nigerian football lovers across, of course, talking about the match between Argentina and France. Still, and of course, permutations for the game ongoing now, Uruguay and Portugal. Of course, Suarez, he has had a lot of questions around his character in football. He has scored 7 World Cup goals for Uruguay, second only to Oscar Miguez, who scored 8. So he might become one of the all-time scorers in terms of the World Cup. He scored a brace against South Korea in only previous appearance in the round of 16 back in 2010. So we're not seeing him at the round of 16. He has not been the very best. Don't forget his almighty handball in South Africa 2010. Yes, of course, that's still there. And of course, you remember him in his national team colors against Italy with Chiellini, having his teeth buried in the shoulder of Chiellini and then holding his teeth as if they had removed and probably were left in Chiellini's shoulder. Those scenes are never forgettable. So each time he's on the pitch, people want to watch his every move to see what he's going to do. He's a controversial player, but a very good one at that point. Playing now with Messi at Barcelona. Of course, he was there with Neymar until Neymar found no space to operate because of the strength of these two players. He had to move over to PSG, to whooping, some that Semunga described as what spoils football. So he's there on the pitch now doing what he knows how to do best. Cristiano Ronaldo, on the other hand, has so far failed to score a single goal for Portugal in the knockout stages of the World Cup, having played 424 minutes so far. No goal in the knockout stages. So far, he's a contender for the Golden Boot at this tournament. He's just a goal behind Harry Kane. He's 4 goals, Harry Kane is 5. Him and Romelu Lukaku are tied there. So, of course, today since Messi is out, his competition has always been against Messi. Like, they compete against themselves, but Messi is out. He might want to prove that the 2 world best, as it is considered, should not be out at the same time, because if that happens, the floor is left for Neymar to shine. We don't know where the Golden Boot might go and where the Ballon d'Or might tilt this year. He led Portugal to win the Euro, and of course, this is one trophy that has eluded him. He will do everything possible today to see that Portugal gets past this stage if he brings his A game. Okay, so apart from penalty shootout, Portugal have lost only one of their last 17 games at major tournaments. They have won 8, drawn 8. The only one that they lost was a defeat to Germany in 2014. It was 4-0. All 5 of Uruguay's goals at Russia 2018, take note, have come from set pieces. 3 from corners, 1 from direct free kick, and 1 from an indirect free kick. Meanwhile, 3 of Portugal's last 4 goals have come from outside the box. What a match we have in our hands today. With these facts, you are very aware of the fact that what you're seeing on your screen right now is not just something that will come and go. It's a massive game that will last 90 minutes. You have to be at the edge of your seat. Don't give it up when you see the first goal and you see the equalizer. You see the first 2 goals for one team and the third goal, and you see the first goal for the other team and the second goal. This game is going to the wire. It's going to the wire. You trust 2 teams that have the character to do whatever they can do on the field of play. Trust them. Of course, Portugal have had some issues of a few injury concerns, but with the squad on the pitch now, I think some players a little bit questionable. They have some prominent players missing the lineup. They are still there on the bench. We were not so sure of their strength coming back in to participate in this game. But we'll see. João Martino, of course, he started from the bench against Iran, and we hope that his contribution in this game will be different from what he did in former games. Now, one thing different with Portugal you should know is that Portugal is a team that it's not constructed, or it's not built like Argentina, that every move starts somewhere, stops at Messi, goes somewhere, comes back to Messi, and he decides how it goes. Messi sometimes distributes. Like today, he created a goal for Kun Aguero, that third goal that they scored, making it a whopping 7 goals in that competition, in that game especially. But most moves were around him. And with Didier Deschamps pinning N'Golo Kante or Messi permanently, with Umtiti watching around for any loose balls, it was difficult for Messi to have that space to float balls, and Argentina were totally out of ideas on how to do it. The other way around, Portugal doesn't play that way. We're comparing two players that we consider the greatest of our time, so we must say that. Of course, they are two excellent, gifted players, very, very, very good, hardworking players, I must say. One a hard worker who has built himself to reach this level. One a naturally born player who, even without working hard, he creates the art, is artistic in his game. Each of them are powerful in their own right. Portugal have built a team not just around Cristiano Ronaldo alone, so in such a way that even when he's on the pitch, you have guys there. Don't forget the old war horse, Quaresma. Remember the goal he scored in the last game? And a very surprising goal that nobody expected him to make that move, and he did, and he just got that goal. Quaresma is one player that, João Martino, one player that you should watch out for. There are these players that they have that you might consider them fringe. They do have an amazing team. It's a complete team that even without Cristiano, if you mark him out, you are even risking your defense more by opening it up more to other players. And it takes more than a single person to mark out Cristiano Ronaldo. You are going to see in this game, as you have seen in the ongoing minutes so far, that there's intention, there's a plan in this match. There might be counterattacks, and either side have the strength to counterattack. Portugal can counterattack nicely because they have pace, they have speed. Cristiano Ronaldo is no longer the Ronaldo we knew. He doesn't have that speed again like he used to do those days, moving from Manchester United over to Real Madrid, and at that pace, even at the country level, even though Portugal was not that much of a good team at that level, but still, he got into that team as a young player, and of course, with the competition of big players that are Luis Figo, they were able to pull up a lot of things. Don't forget likes of Deco, they were there. Now he's leading the team, carrying it on his shoulders, and he's behaving like a leader rather than being selfish and pulling everything to himself. He finds a way to make sure that the entire team is involved in the frame of what they're playing, and you're going to see that. On the other hand, do not forget, you have PSG's bad boy, Edinson Cavani. Of course, his fight with Neymar over spot kicks, penalties, and spot kicks, don't forget. At the national team, they have a coach that brought them up. So all their duties are well defined. You don't overstep your boundaries. You know where your right begins and where it stops. Your freedom stops where the other person's nose begins on the pitch with their own coach. He doesn't take any nonsense from them. Coach Oscar Tabarez is a very disciplined tactician, having taught these boys, who some of them are men now, for 12 years as a coach of that national team. You are going to see a lot of that in him. He hardly stands. He has a walking stick. It's a little bit, he's a special person. He holds his walking stick. He comes out of the dugout when he has to, walks a little bit to the side, and just a little wave of his left hand. The entire team understands what the coach has come out to say. The message is clearly communicated to the players on the pitch. You see a lot of that in this game. If the game goes to extra time, do not be surprised. There are teams that have the ability to bounce back from a goal down or 2 goals down to level. Uruguay is good at scoring at the death, yes. Last minutes of the game, the way Argentina does, they do that. You don't expect it. They have ways of distracting you. It will get to a level when you might see Suarez falling over like Neymar does. They are good at that. Latin American teams, they are good at that. The good thing is they both understand themselves. They are both the top leading players that have played together in Europe and in the same league. Ronaldo and Suarez, our opponents when it comes to La Liga. Of course, El Clasico is one of those places where they meet and show their skills and everything, so they do understand themselves. And we're going to see a lot of that in the game that is ongoing. So enjoy the game, watch it. Portugal, Uruguay. What are your thoughts? I want you to tell me. What are your thoughts on this game? Who are you giving it to? Portugal or Uruguay? Based on what you're seeing so far, who do you think will get tired earlier? Who do you think will carry the day? Join me on the conversation as we speak. 081-8999-1011. That's a number to call, and we'll be right here onto the stadium on Human Rights Radio. Hello. Hello. Is that a Portuguese or a Uruguayan person calling? Yeah, 081-8999-1011 is a number to call. Of course, when it comes to penalty shootout, I am very much aware of the fact that Portugal do have very potent penalty takers. Yes, they do. Apart from Cristiano Ronaldo, they do have other. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
My name is Dr. L, calling from Asokoro.
Dr. L, how is Asokoro this evening?
Fine.
Are you watching this match?
Yes, I'm watching. I'm giving the match to Portugal this evening.
To Portugal? Okay, you want Ronaldo to stay so that as Messi has gone, yes, let Ronaldo stay?
Yes.
What will be your beef, what? Dr. L?
Sorry?
What is your beef with Argentina?
Well, I'm so happy that Argentina is back home today.
Oh.
More after putting Nigeria with full tears in their eyes. So we are so happy that they are all home today as well.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so you are giving it to Portugal?
Yes, to Portugal. 2-1 straight.
2-1 straight. I'll watch to see, Dr. L. All right. That's one of our regular listeners there, all the way from Asokoro, giving it to Portugal straight off 2-1. It didn't mean his words, of course, always straight away giving it to Portugal. He's happy that Argentina is gone and he wants Cristiano Ronaldo to, of course, clean up his record and probably prepare for Ballon d'Or so that if they don't give him this time, you all see the Ojuru is written in the sky. 081-8999-1011. Does any of these two teams stand a chance, if they go further, stand a chance of winning the World Cup? People say Portugal have improved over the years and winning the Euro unexpectedly. Them and Iceland were the best teams of the competition. They're thinking that their performance at the Russia 2018 World Cup will also give them a chance to go forward. But of course, they would choose the hard path. They're not playing like Belgium and England that were playing to avoid Brazil, playing the last group game to see who becomes runner-up so that the winner will meet, the winner of the group is going to meet Japan, and from there might meet the winner of the game between Mexico and Brazil that comes up tomorrow, so on Monday rather. They try to avoid that by trying to play safe so that nobody tops the group. But eventually, just didn't mind. He had a chance to score a wonderful World Cup goal, so he did score it. He didn't wait for his teammates or for anybody to slow down the game, or for Coach Martinez or Thierry Henry, who is the assistant coach of Belgium, to come out from the dugout to tell him, don't score, let England score, let us stay second so that we can go. If you need to win the World Cup, you need to take the bull by the horns. You need to play the best teams, because if you win by playing safe and you get up there and at the end you win, we'll still look at it and say, well, something happened. If you play a team that has all injuries and you take advantage of the injuries and you win, we'll still look at it as something happened. I don't think Argentina had injuries today. I don't think Nigeria had injuries either. I don't think, of course, one team that I would say injury has affected so far in this World Cup badly is Egypt. I think if Mo Salah was present in that squad, Egypt might have gone further than they are. Maybe them and Russia could have qualified from that group. I don't think other clubs. Okay, Tunisia, yeah, they did have a very bad injury in the opening game. I'm looking at African countries now. They had a very bad injury with their goalkeeper, and then the second keeper also had injury in training. So by then they were already out. So injuries we have not had very bad injuries at the World Cup so far as it is, and safely so. I think that's a good one, because we want the best players from the World Cup to finish and rest and then head to pre-season, because we want to see the best of the 2018-2019 season come the month of August when the club football resumes, and we hope to see our players in those clubs that we wish they are in to play, so that Nigeria will have the best representation come Cameroon 2019. My mind is there at that Nations Cup. We need to get it back home, and we need to put ourselves back on the global stage, especially starting from Africa, to show the world that we are who we are. We're not giants. We're not called giants by mistake. We used to be. Now we might not be. Maybe we're giants who are seated for the meantime, doing one or two things, but we'll see what happens as the game goes on. 081-8999-1011 is a number to call, and you are live onto the stadium here on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. We're talking sports. It's Portugal versus Uruguay. Who are you giving it to? A lot of callers think Cristiano Ronaldo deserves to win. Somebody here have something to say on air. Hello, good evening. Yes, this is the stadium on Human Rights Radio. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Ramsey. I'm from Apo.
Okay, so how is it been? Are you aware that Portugal have scored?
I'm giving it to Portugal. No, Cristiano Ronaldo is the
sorry to break your heart. Actually, Uruguay have scored Portugal. So
I'm so happy that Argentina is back.
Okay, Argentina is out and Portugal will go out. Uruguay have scored. Actually, it's 1-0 now. They've taken the lead.
That is a joke.
It's not a joke. For real.
Portugal are gonna win 2-1 or 3-1, but I'm giving them 2-1.
Okay, 2-1.
Yeah.
Okay, all right then. We'll wait to see what happens in that game. So why are you happy that Argentina has gone? Let me understand why you're happy.
What they did to Nigeria, don't mind. You know, the left was biased against Nigeria. So what God had did, okay.
So you should
back now.
You should have asked the FIFA to send the referee home now, not Argentina.
But it's over there. So I have to. It's over the Argentina. So I'm just happy. So that as they come back, I'm happy.
Okay.
That's all.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. Of course, Uruguay taking the lead there against all odds and against what everybody has been expecting. But of course, like I told you shortly before giving you that update, I jokingly said Portugal has scored, but people were excited out there, those who are listening to us. Uruguay is up 1 goal and expect a lot of goals to come in that game. I told you the first person to score might not be the person that will end smiley in this game. But we'll take a very short break. When we come back, we just want to get some commercials, and when we come back, we'll give you details of what is happening in that game, and then you still give us your permutations or what you expect to be the outcome of the game between Portugal and Uruguay. Already, it is 1 goal advantage Uruguay. Stay with us. We will be right back.
This is to inform the general public that the activities of scavengers, also known as Babambola, is prohibited within the Federal Capital City. Their activities are henceforth restricted to the area councils. Residents of the Federal Capital City are advised to be vigilant and report any suspicious activities to law enforcement agencies. Together, we can make Abuja the city of our dreams.
èyí ni láti kéde pé ojúṣe àwọn sagolo sapáànù tí a mọ̀ sí.
Awidna akugna aza vien kisinege tuntun aza mbatun aya una vidankulu na kobege baba bola atela chebaje ukisinde unkoyin tiyan kola ka haye baba tuntun kola gbojin inara kan si vien ba lo mutna ikisinde ozana wa sasatu vidankulu wotna aba won apin aga wotata agna akisinda mbasaselo ge balaweka na zaipia da na azalaba saselo kinsine ge balawebi na ja zaipia bakara na bana ba won ba taboshiba agaba tata you na what they are me kinsine ko na ba abwa abeji I would never back me new city here I don't know jina koko ge Federal Capital Authority Administration.
èyí ni láti kéde pé ojúṣe àwọn sagolo sapáànù tí a mọ̀ sí Babambola ti dókun nílùú Àbújá àti ìjọba àbílẹ̀ mẹ́fẹ̀ẹ̀fà bí ọwọ́ sìnkú àwọn agbófinró bá wá ba ẹnikẹ́ni nínú wọn yóò fi ojú ba ilé ẹjọ́ o ẹ̀yin olùgbé Àbújá ẹ yára tètè tẹ́tíléko tẹ́ bá rí ẹnikẹ́ni tí ń yọ́lẹ̀ ẹ̀dà tí kò tẹ̀lé òfin tó sì ń sagolo tí ń sapáànù ẹ tètè fi tó àwọn agbófinró létí àjọṣe wa ní o láti mú kí olú ìlú yìí dùn ún wò kí ó sì dùn ún gbé pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn. Ìkéde yìí wá láti iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba olú ìlú yìí ìyẹn Federal Capital Territory Administration.
A yayin da damuna ta fara kankama, an shawarci al'umma da su guji ɓata
Hence, the general public is hereby advised to avoid environmental